we are going to talk about low performance team. Nah, kita semua sudah ada pengalaman. We all know what a low performance team is. Unfortunately, whether it's in a school, whether it is in a business, maybe it's in a club that you join, you will definitely pasti ada pengalaman where you have a team that doesn't do well. Now the issue is, gimana kita tahu what the problem is? Seringkali kita ada perasaan aja. Intuitively kita tahu there's something wrong with this team. Never goal. Tidak ada mencapai gol. Banyak dribblingnya kalau main football. Banyak dribble, banyak pass, banyak ini, banyak teriak, banyak bersorak. But you never get a goal. You never win your game. And this is what this evening is about. This evening, I'm going to describe some of the problems in a non-performing team, a low-performance team. Tapi, we're going to do something very interesting. Or you are going to do something very interesting, not me. You are going to do something called a Lencioni test. What is this test about? Why? Kenapa saya di sini Friday night mau dengar-dengar aja bicara? Kenapa saya harus kerja? Because this test is a very simple test, and it will help you to identify the problems in your team. So before we start, I want you to make sure you have a pen. I don't know if you can see my pen, and paper. You need paper. You need some paper. Okay? You cannot just dengar. If you just dengar aja, you will get nol. And you waste, and at the end, jam 8, you akan minta 1 jam saya, please LTI, dikembalikan. Okay? So before you do your Lencioni test, let me explain, kasih penjelasan sedikit. Lencioni test itu apa, and what is a Lencioni test about? So the topic today is Pengembangan Keterampilan Kepemimpinan, and how you use this Lencioni test. Now, this is a series. Kalau hari ini itu bab ke-1, and I'm going to take this bab ke-1. If you look yang di kanan, ada di sana with his video on, that is Eric Bodiono. Pak Eric Bodiono, give us a wave, Pak. Okay. Pak Eric will continue this series next week. So this is 2 lectures or 2 workshops from LTI, which are berseri. Okay. So let's talk about the Lencioni test. What is the Lencioni test and why we want to do it? Okay. Lencioni is the expert on what is called dysfunctional teams. Dysfunctional team is the opposite of high performance teams. Teams that don't work, teams that fail, tidak ada goalnya. And he came up with a test yang menarik. Test ini gampang, mudah sekali. And to make it easier for all of you when you are doing this test, sudah diterjemahkan ke bahasa Indonesia. You can go online and you can find many versions. Banyak sekali versi Lencioni test, tapi susah mencari yang dalam bahasa Indonesia. Why do you need it in bahasa Indonesia? Supaya lebih akurat. When you answer the questions, it will be more accurate. So first you have to understand, kita akan bahas the Lencioni Pyramida. This is the Lencioni Pyramid. And Lencioni is an Italian. His full name is Patrick Lencioni. And he wrote a book. Okay, bukunya, judulnya 5 Disfungsi Suatu Tim. And in this book, dia menjelaskan in a diagram, in his pyramid, what he says are some of the problems of a team and why teams fail. Now, according to Lencioni, ada 5. And this is the 5. So I'm going to explain one by one very quickly. Hasil, commitment, kepercayaan, tanggung jawab, dan konflik. He says that because you don't have hasil, a goal orientation, kerana kita tidak ada komitmen, kita tidak ada kepercayaan kepada kepemimpinannya, kerana kita tidak ada konflik yang healthy, dan kerana kita tidak ada tanggung jawab antara team members, that is why the team will fail. Now, let me explain it a little more in detail, yeah? And this is a lot of words, banyak sekali kata-kata di sini, but I need to explain it so that you can understand what you are doing later. So 5 dysfunctions. The first dysfunction, he said, is kerana we have inattention to results. Bukan goal-oriented. Tapi masalahnya, sebaliknya, masalahnya, we are worried, kita selalu pikirkan status dan ego. As a team, saya selalu mau Mr. Hary's team. Nama Pak Hary lebih penting dari result. So Mr. Hary, as the team leader, akan selalu worry, does this make me look good? Does this make Eric look bad? Misalnya saya nggak suka Pak Eric. How do I use my status and my ego? How do I keep being the top of my team? And this, when you forget about the results, itu adalah satu penyakit dalam tim. Dan ini selalu terjadi dalam tim yang gagal. Okay? Nomor 2, Lencioni says, kita harus ada high standard. But in a dysfunctional team, in a team that does not work, yang tidak berfungsi, they have very low standards. Bisa low standard as a group, atau low standard of individuals. Jadi individualnya sendiri, yang penting jadi. Who cares about the quality? Dan yang menarik, there's always an avoidance of accountability. Jadi kalau tim fail, mereka tidak bilang, oh, saya juga masuk tim dan saya juga gagal. What they always say is, sebenarnya ya, tim kita fail, bukan karena saya. Kalau saya bilang A lebih bagus. Tapi karena B, mereka suka, mereka ikut B. So, whenever the team fails, tidak ada yang accountable. Semua menolak. Everybody will push the blame. It's because of Eric. No. It's because of Hary. It was Hary's plan. It's not my plan. And that's called avoidance of accountability. Another problem is a lack of commitment. The individual members are not committed to the goal. They don't see why they must do it. Motivasinya nggak ada. They are not committed to the goal. They say, why should I do this? Saya buat atau tidak buat, terjadi atau tidak jadi, makes no difference to me. I get the same salary at the end of the month. That's a lack of commitment. And that's because of ambiguity. Ambiguity dari siapa? The pemimpin. The pemimpin is not clear to communicate what is the goal and why. Yang lebih penting, why you need to mencapai the goal. The 4th problem, this one is very, very clear in Indonesia. Dari pengalaman saya, maaf sekali ya, we are all Indonesian, we have to self-reflect. Itu keharmonisan palsu. I'm sure you have all felt it before. Everybody is smiling. Oi, ibu apa kabar? Cium kiri, cium kanan. Di belakangnya, dia lagi. And this is really a problem, especially in an Asian context. Tidak ada orang yang akan bilang, sorry, I disagree with you. Jadi, conflict has healthy conflicts and conflicts have unhealthy conflicts. And a problem with, according to Lencioni, is there is a fear of conflict. Jadi, we know there's conflict yang bagus because conflicts that are good make things better. Conflicts that are bad are just personal. They're not about the goal. They're not about improving the process. They're about personalities. I don't like Eric. So everything Eric says, I attack. Oh, Eric is wrong. Eric is wrong. Eric is wrong. I use Eric as an example, not because I have these conflicts, yeah? Let's be clear. It's because he and I are partners in this. Next week, he's going to be talking a lot about this. So Eric and I fear conflict. Now, the truth is, Eric and I don't fear conflict. Seringkali, every day I say, Eric, that's a terrible idea. Can we do something else? Or Eric will say, sir, cannot, not fair. I think we should do this. There's a conflict, right? But it's a healthy conflict. Dysfunctional team, fear of conflict. Kerana tidak mau bahas, tidak mau seperti berdebat, there is no body to say, this is the better way of doing it. Everybody semuanya, and that's called keharmonisan palsu. It looks very good. Everyone is happy. All the teachers are smiling. Yeah, we like it. And then nothing happens. Because nobody will say there is a better way of doing something. So that's another problem, according to Lencioni, the fear of conflict. The last one is absence of trust, kepercayaan. When you don't trust the leader or you don't trust the other members of your team can never succeed. And you know this. We all in this room are leaders. We either lead a school or we lead a company or a small business or we lead a family. And we can see already, we know that on the right-hand side of the pyramid, these are things that we know make our teams fail. We don't look at results. Kita tidak accountable. There's a lack of commitment from the membership. There's a fear of conflict. And there's an absence of trust. So now that you understand a little bit about the Lencioni pyramid and the 5 dysfunctions of team, it's time to do the test. So before I show you the questions and what you're going to do, I'm just going to go back again to the Bahasa Indonesian pyramid. Okay? Jadi, katanya kepercayaan is the foundation. First thing you need to fix in your dysfunctional team is kepercayaan. Do you trust your members? Do your members trust your leaders? Then you have to go to conflict resolution. Take away keharmonisan palsu and have a way in which you can resolve conflicts. People mustn't think, he said this because he don't like me. He said this because he wants to improve the process. He wants to make it better, not because he doesn't like me. Don't take everything personal. Then the next problem is instilling responsibility in your team, commitment in your team, and then an attention to the results. Okay, hasil. They must never forget. You must always keep an eye. Selalu harus teliti sekali. What you are doing today, is it in line dengan goal kita? And to have a clear goal, you mustn't be ambiguous. Everybody must be clear about what the goal is supaya semuanya in the right direction. Kalau kita tidak ada alignment of the stakeholders, you can never have a successful team. Okay, so now let's go back again to the test. Now I'm going to minimize myself, and I hope that you can actually see the questions. Now this is a Lencioni test which I have translated into Bahasa Indonesia. And what you need to do is to take your pen and a paper, and you have to give a score for each sentence. Misalnya, anggota tim mendiskusikan masalah dengan penuh semangat dan sikap terbuka. For example, now you can give 3 scores. 1 kalau tidak pernah atau hampir tidak pernah. 2 kalau kadang-kadang. Dan 3 kalau biasanya. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 for each score. What you need to do, yang kita harus melakukan, is to keep track of your score. Jadi untuk nombor 1, tulis dulu. Nombor 1, statement 1, kalimat 1, 1, 2 atau 3. Misalnya kalau saya thinking of a team, I will say biasanya. Karena sering ya. 1. Then you write nombor 2. Baca nombor 2 and then give a score. Kalau 2, mereka dengan mudah menunjukkan kekurangan dan perilaku tidak produktif satu sama lain. Kadang-kadang. Jadi saya akan taruh 2 untuk nombor 2. And you keep going. Jadi dari 1 sampai 15, kasih nilainya. Tapi keep track ya of your nilai. Because you don't just write the number and then add the number. Jangan, belum. You have to first have it 1 to 15 and then kasih nilainya. 10 minit for these 15 statements. Jangan berpikir terlalu dalam. But you need to think of one team that you work with. Kita kan ada multiple team. So that you jangan lari kemana-mana. You just think of one team. And you give yourself a score. 1 untuk tidak pernah. 2 kadang-kadang. 3 biasanya. For each of these statements. And keep track. Tulis. Don't just give the answer and then. Because when I ask you to do the next thing, kalau you nggak tulis, tidak ada catatannya, haywire. It goes all over the place. You will waste your time. And I don't want to waste your time. Okay? So everyone, enjoy yourself. I'll try to make sure that you can see the questions clearly. And I will just turn off my camera so you don't feel, aduh, Pak Hary's looking at me non-stop. Okay? So good luck, everyone. Have fun with the test. 3 minit lagi ya, we finish early. Well, we'll try to finish the test early. Don't overthink, jangan terlalu pikir ke dalam-dalam. Just what is your gut? 1, 2, atau 3? Satu minit lagi. Kalau sudah selesai, tolong jangan bikin lagi, don't change your answers, ya. Don't change your answers. Just what is your first reaction? Reaksi yang pertama aja. Itu yang terjujur. Sudah selesai. Now, the next thing I want you to do is this. You're going to fill up a table. Okay? Nah, lihat ini. Untuk 4, 6, dan 12. Untuk kalimat 4, berapa nilainya? Untuk 6, berapa nilainya? Untuk kalimat 12, berapa nilainya? And the same for kalimat 1, 7, 10, 3, 8, 13, 2, 11, 14, dan 5, 9, 15. Okay? Write down and add. Ya, dijumlahkan. Untuk kalimat 4, 6, dan 12, berapa nilainya? So do that first. I'll give you maybe a minute to do that very quickly. You should get a number. Maximum number di totalnya 9, kan? Karena 3 kalimat, 1 kalimat bisa 1, 2, 3. And go ahead and do that. Get the total. Okay, remember, you are thinking about one specific team, ya. Satu tim yang khusus, your team that you're thinking about. Dan tolong jangan mengucapkan, ya. Don't say what team it is, ya. Cuma anonymous aja. Only you know which team you're talking about. Karena ini sensitif sekali. Kalau nilainya, misalnya keharmonisan palsu dan konflik. Kalau nilainya 8 atau 9, itu menunjukkan kemungkinan bahwa disfungsi bukan masalah untuk tim ini. If your nilai is 6 atau 7, itu menunjukkan bahwa mungkin ada sebuah masalah. There is a problem. There is a problem in your team, for example, on conflict or keharmonisan. There's a problem with commitment. Maybe there's a problem with the tanggung jawab. There's a problem about personal ego. biasanya when we do the test sama company, biasanya yang di kanan personal ego itu nilainya 3 atau 4 atau 5. So if your nilai is 3 sampai 5, kemungkinan bahwa you as the leader or as the team member harus menghadapi masalah disfungsi ini. The problem of personal ego di dalam tim. Okay? So, is everybody finished? Good night,
Terima
everyone.
kasih, selamat malam semuanya.